Hello everyone, this is Domina Mara and welcome back to my channel. Happy 2021. This video is going to be a 2020 rewind, if you will. The review of my year and how it went. I know it was a difficult year for everybody and there were a lot of challenges in everything from travel being canceled to gyms closing and having our physical well-beings limited to home or outside environments, etc. I don't need to list that for you. What I'm doing today is to give you some insight to all the things that I was able to accomplish last year, and hopefully that will provide some inspiration for you as we progress and try to get back into normality in the upcoming years. Before we get into that, go ahead and click that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so that you know when I have new videos coming out. I post every week on Saturday at 1 p.m. Pacific time, and I live stream on Sunday evenings. First off is a general statement. I actually produced a photo set for every month until December. So every month of 2020, I actually had a theme and came out with something from previous shoots, just shoots that I haven't edited myself because I didn't have time, or the season had already passed, or I was posting something that year and I was going to save this one for another year. So I was able to release everything that I had in my archives this year, and it actually lasted the entire year. I will start from month to month. So in January, I demoed my domination at 2 events. I did Resurrection downtown LA, which was a kind of a warehouse party, if you will. And then afterwards, I also demoed at Drac House, which is kind of like a more vampire themed event that has live music performers that were DJs and more industrial, also in downtown LA. I went to the Foot Night Awards and won Ice Queen / Ice Princess, the most intriguing model of the year for 2019. They always have the awards the January of the next year. So huge thank you to Foot Night for allowing me to be nominated and winning that award. It was really nice. I demonstrated Kimbaku at a private party in downtown LA and actually made my outfit for that. I had the Rope Master video that you could see on my channel to showcase the headdress that I made, as well as the harness that I had on myself, made without cutting rope. I spoke at a panel at the Pleasure Chest with 3 other Asian femmes to speak out about fetishization and racial stereotypes in our lines of work. I attended the Dungeon West and Dungeon East open houses for the 4th or 5th time in a row. I started my 2nd YouTube channel dedicated to my dance and flow arts. This is my Goddess Mara channel, and I actually also filmed my first short film featuring fire play for that. So that's really cool. And you can watch the film through the channel as I link it at the end of this video, as well as in the description box below. Moving on to February, I vacationed in Honolulu and stayed in Waikiki for an all expenses paid trip and stay. So I also got to session for multiple hours because I never go to a new place without also experiencing how locals like to play there. I filmed with trans girl Zoe, and we did a collaboration for Valentine's Day about transforming her into the femme that she believes she is. And it's quite a romantic story. I also released a sissy photo set at the same time, taken with another model, and it's super cute. Go check that out on my portraits page. I officially toured San Jose for the first time. And then, of course, played with my regulars in San Francisco, as well as showcased my Spring Nymphs photo set at Nightshade Art Show. It was a gallery specially curated and displaying those who are SWs. I became an affiliate of SheerTex, which is a stocking company. I did a segment on about 6 of their different styles, and it features their patent pending unbreakable technology in their nylons. Moving on to March, I explored ASMR and came out with a new playlist on my channel, gearing it towards kink and leather, and it exploded into a trend among ASMR creators as well as inspire new people to do their own versions. I also created a Don't Rush Me challenge in the vein of dominatrixes with my Filipiniana sisters. I made interesting quarantine snacks and drinks and filmed that too. In June, I marched for the first time in a protest for Black Lives Matter while practicing safe physical distancing. I created my first corset out of duct tape for Pride and ASMR purposes. In July, I collaborated with OxyShop, a chastity-themed online store, to showcase their cages and locking plug. I then began cleaning and decluttering my home, inspired by lockdown, and edited my first DIY video featuring props and tools that I still use until today. I released an interview with Dr. Susie from November of 2019 and made it PG. You can watch the full version on her website. I broke down my vision of gifting in preparation for Leo season. In August, I filmed an ASMR video celebrating my birthday and sharing that with all of you. I was also interviewed by the Bedpost podcast, which could be seen in video form on my channel, as well as heard on Spotify. I collaborated with Slightly Legal Toys to review their most interesting toys that I found online. In September, I interviewed with Simply Sexy and expanded past the introductory type of questions, jumping straight into the more kinky inquiries. I ranted and raved about my journey on femdom art. I also released a video on personal submissives and what I expect if somebody wants to become mine. In October, I created my first contest. It was a Halloween-inspired bidding system that allowed my followers to address me for Halloween on the live stream. TB1. I uploaded my home transformation documentation, beginning with my Moroccan studio called the Sunroom, followed by the Regal living room called the Lion's Den, and lastly, ending with my personal bedroom, the Gilded Room. I began really missing travel during that time, and so I decided to recap all of my travels since a year ago, starting with my trip to Greece, Sweden, and Denmark. I decorated for Halloween for the first time because now I finally have the space and felt the spooky spirit. In November, I collaborated with Liebesziele, which is a Japanese toy company which has very unique leather work and different hardware, as well as nature-based designs. I showed my East Coast tour from 2019 to New York, Boston, and Philadelphia. Then my West Coast tour to Portland, Seattle, and San Francisco. Then I shared my current year travels to Honolulu earlier in February and connected the circle back to San Francisco and then ending in LA, where I danced for Audio Trip's intro for their Oculus debut. Adult Swim has released season 5 of The Eric Andre Show. I am cameoed as the guest dominatrix in episode 5. Go check that out in the link below. I flew up for the first time since February to San Francisco for Thanksgiving and to celebrate my mother's 60th birthday by spending a few days wining and dining, as well as relaxing in the natural spa springs that Napa Valley had to offer, before sessioning in San Francisco at the top of one of my favorite hotels. In December, I opened my Amazon store and shared my basic BDSM picks for quality play on a budget. I DIY'd a pair of Wolford stockings that I had received a couple years ago for Christmas with real Swarovski crystals, inspired by a pair of Wolfords that are no longer being produced. I collaborated with Pearl and Poseidon on 5 of their nylon skinwares and 1 goddess accessory for those who are more than mistresses. Throughout the month of December, I received many lovely gifts from my submissives and fetishists. I visited San Francisco once more, driving up to be safe, and spent Christmas in nature with my family, as well as beginning to purge my childhood room. I will be back soon enough to continue that progress. To close out the year, 5 Star, also known as Channel 5 in Britain, released a season 1, episode 1 of a documentary on my life as a dominatrix. I am working on finding a link that is viewable online for those who may have missed it on national television. Into 2021, I'm also releasing a new collaboration with Oxy Shop. I am presenting my very own chastity set titled the Dragon Queen Collection, gilded in gold to match my decor as well, and inspired by medieval torture devices from those classic times. 2020 was exhausting yet productive, challenging mentally and physically, but we pushed with perseverance into the new year with many accomplishments. When I wasn't doing all these things, I was filming custom clips, sessioning virtually, working with new kinksters and toy companies, as well as expanding into sexy apparel. And I've written new films, which I will hit the ground running when it is once again safe to do so. I hope this new year is a better time to emerge from our year-long cocoon of personal progresses, and wish warmth, safe health, and continuing strength from our inner consciousness to guide us to a new world. And that my subs see me as a beacon of light. There were a lot of times where I thought that I didn't want to do anything, but all of you helped me continue on, and I have you to thank for that. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, share it so that other people can be inspired by all the things that we can do in the future days to come. Subscribe and hit that bell so that you know when I am online next. And until next time, be safe, have fun, and keep it kinky, everybody.